Start now. Thank you everyone for waiting. I hope you enjoyed that little performance. Okay, let's get started. Assalamu alaikum everyone. I'm Bayan Khalid and I'll be your moderator for today. Thank you very much for attending yet another day of the Ramadan Summit. We're on day 15 of the talks. We're halfway through, and today we have another special speaker, Ms. Khadeja Tirha. But first, let me remind you that the Ramadan Summit is the concluding part of our Design Post-COVID Humanity program so that you may listen to people with inspiring stories and messages and take any valuable lessons you learn with you for the rest of your life. Ramadan is a month of peace and blessings, and inshallah, we hope to add a touch of inspiration to that as well. So if you've been keeping up with our talks, thank you so much. We hope you've been finding them useful, and welcome if you are new. As usual, each person will give a talk and we'll have a Q&A session after each talk. So please feel free to type in your questions in the chat as we go along, or use the raise your hand feature so we can call on you to speak. Without further ado, let me introduce our speaker for today, Ms. Khadeja Tirha. She is a 28-year-old Afro-European girl who was born in Morocco and raised in Italy. Currently, she's doing an online internship at the ICYF International Project Department, and she recently graduated with a double master's degree in international relations of the MENA region and comparative analysis of Mediterranean societies from the University of Turin and EGE Rabat. Khadeja is passionate about diversity, inclusion, intercultural dialogue and interfaith dialogue, global citizenship education, youth empowerment, and women's empowerment. She won an international award as a young European volunteer by an Italian federation. Khadeja is firmly convinced that only in a society that can show mutual respect and understand the value of cultural exchange may exist a peaceful coexistence of different cultures and religious beliefs. The topic for today is challenging stereotypes through the human library. Khadeja, please inspire us.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to everyone. Shukran, Bayan. Thank you for this amazing introduction. First of all, I really would like to show my gratitude and my happiness being here, because who knows me, I started this amazing journey in DPCH program last year. So it's a big achievement for me to be here, sharing my story with all of you. So thank you so much. I will share my screen because I prepared a kind of presentation, and I would like to show you what I did. Okay. So today, inshallah, I will talk about, I choose this topic, the human library methodology, because I'm a living library. And I will explain you what does it mean to be a human library. More than 6 years, 7 years ago, I started a long journey in an Italian NGO, and they gave me a strong possibility to show my capacity, to show my skills, to show my passion in order to create a common ground where people, they feel comfortable to talk about themselves. So the human library methodology, it's an innovative concept. It's a methodology where people, they transform themselves in a book. So, instead of having a real book, so you can start to read a book, you are in front of a human being. So the human library is a library of people. So as a living library, I'm a person. I share my story with everyone, with the stranger people. I did it for 6 years in high schools and also for different events in my region. And I decided to be a human library because I believe in the power of dialogue. I believe in the power of storytelling, because storytelling is powerful. You can change the narrative. You can change your story in a good way. You can show to other people your story with your words, with your vision, with your experience. Everyone has a story, of course, but not all they would like to share their stories. So being a living library, it means for me to have a courage to speak up, to say, I'm here, I exist, I'm a human being, before being Moroccan, Muslim, Italian. So in 2013, I started my first living library with some friends and with also some people that I didn't know. Each living library, they started to choose a kind of title. So my title is my life. And I choose this title, Khadeja, because my name is Khadeja. It's a stranger name. It's not an Italian name such as Giulia or Raffaella or Monica. So the Italian people, when they read my name, when they listen to me, they completely link my name with a stranger things, with a stranger name, and so on. Italian by fact, because I'm Italian. I have an Italian citizenship, and I have a deep sense of belonging in here in Italy. I feel myself Italian 100%, even if I was born in Morocco and not in Italy. I started my journey in activism, social activism, thanks to an Italian NGO called Live Volunteers International Association. This NGO, they gave me a lot of opportunities to be myself, to share my stories, and to face prejudice, racism, discrimination in the high schools. So I started to do this activity in a different schools, in a different institute in all my region. I share my story with students. As you know, students are really curious. So they start to ask me 1,000 questions. Why you decided to wear your hijab? You are Muslim, yes or not? You are fasting, you are praying, you are engaged, you are married, and a lot of questions like that. And also, 1 month ago, I decided to put this concept in Clubhouse, and I founded the Human Library in Clubhouse in Italy. Of course, the Human Library, it's not mine, and I didn't create this kind of concept, because this concept was born in Denmark in 2000. And thanks to this concept, they also create an international organization called the Human Library Organization. You can Google it on Google. You can find a lot of information regarding the Human Library Association. I'm just using the same concept in Italy. And I gave a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. I started 1 month ago, so I did five living library on Clubhouse. So I was looking for people that they would like to share their story in Clubhouse. And they accepted this new concept in Clubhouse, because as you know, Clubhouse is a new social networks where your voice is the main object. You can just talking, you can just using your voice. So I decided, why I have to use Clubhouse, and I have to use Clubhouse in this way. I have to show that the Human Library can change our life. It changed my life, and I would like to give the same opportunity to people to share their stories in a different format. So now I will talk about my story, because being a living library, it means share your story. I'm Afro-European, so my identity is mixed. I was born in Morocco, in Casablanca, and I raised in Turin, the city of Cristiano Ronaldo. I've never met him, but he's living in my city. So my city became really famous when they move to Turin in the Juventus footballer, and Turin, it became really famous in all over the world thanks to Cristiano Ronaldo. But we have a lot of things, yani, despite Juventus Stadium. I studied between Italy and Morocco. I got a double master degree in international relations between Italy and Morocco. And I decided to be back in Morocco because raising here in Italy, it means that I need to know more about my culture, about my country, and I decided to be back. I studied 1 year in Morocco, in Rabat. It was an amazing experience. I learned a lot about my culture. What does it mean to be Moroccans 100%? What does it mean living in Morocco? Because I was born there, but I grew up here in Italy. So when I'm back in Morocco, my vision is completely different. It's kind of a touristic vision with Moroccan origin. So living between two cultures, sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy. It enriched me because I know how to speak in Italian, in Arabic, not very well, but I can speak in Arabic. And also it means to have a lot of, a lot of knowledge regarding the Italian cuisine and the Moroccan cuisine. But sometimes it's hard having two cultures because you have to face your identity. You have to think who I am. I'm Italian, I'm Moroccan, I'm Muslim, I'm not nothing. So I started to think who I am. And I started this kind of conversation with me when I was 16 years. It was during the high school, and it was really, it was a kind of bad period during my high school, especially during the first and second year, because I was victim of bullying in my school. And it was awful for me. It was a bad experience, but I can't delete it. I can transform this bad experience in a good experience. What does it mean? I started to talk in schools regarding prejudice, racism, and bullies. I started to raise awareness regarding discrimination in the same place, which is schools. I started to talk about my story. What does it mean to be a victim of bullies in the same school where I decided to wear my hijab? It was hard because I did a strong choice. A lot of people, they told me, Khadija, you are not afraid to be again victim of bullies. I said no. Now I'm not afraid. Before, yes, I was completely afraid to be myself. So I started to jump. I started to face my fears regarding discrimination, regarding prejudice. I started to transform my fears in my strength. And I started to be myself. The secret, the biggest secret is to be yourself. Sometimes it's hard to be yourself, sometimes not, but you have to do it if you would like to live with an inner peace in a good way in your community. You have to be yourself. So I started to do a lot of volunteerism in my community. And also I started to feel a sense of belonging in my city, in my community. And sorry, I have to admit, okay. And I also started to think globally, acting locally. I was involved in a different initiatives regarding policy advocacy for peace building. And also, thanks to the Italian NGO, I was involved in a different activities regarding education for global citizenship in schools. And also I work for fundraising campaign, for solidarity campaign. But my biggest, my first expertise is regarding education for global citizenship. I believe in this frame, I believe that education is powerful, and I started from the education. Because if you really would like to change your society, you have to educate firstly yourself, then other people. I also started to expand my horizons. Being a global citizen, I was involved in a different youth exchange promoted by Erasmus+. I was in Greece, in Albania, in Istanbul, in Turkey. And 3 years ago, the Italian NGOs, they asked me, no, yeah, they invited me to be one of the candidates for an international award winning regard young European volunteer. I won this prize, and I'm really happy, thanks Allah, because it means a lot for me, because I started my path with this NGO and they believe me. They put my name in the candidation, and they ask people to vote me, to vote my causes, my efforts, and to recognize what I did all this year with them and in my society. And I would like to say that this federation is one of the most important federations in Italy. They are a Christian organization, and they gave an award on a Muslim girl. It means a lot for me. It means that it's possible to work with people with different religions. It means that we would like to live in a coexistence environment. We have to promote interfaith dialogue. I strongly believe in the interfaith dialogue. Without interfaith dialogue, it's really pretty impossible to live in a peaceful society. We have to share our stories. We have to be proud of our religion, our identity. I was invited in this program as a guest speaker, the Diary of Francis Pope, and I talk about the human library, how this methodology changed my life. Because as I said, during the high schools, I was completely another person. Yani, believe me, if you met me few years ago, you can't recognize the difference between Khadija in the past and Khadija in the future. And I also had the opportunity to visit Qatar in 2018. I attended the Arab European Forum for United Nations Alliance of Civilization, and they invited me in Qatar television as an Italian European participant, and I shared my story in Italy. What does it mean to be Muslim Italian in Europe? It was an amazing experience. They asked me to talk in Arabic. It was a bit challenging for me, but I did it. And I also attended a training course regarding gender equality in Doha. I have an amazing memories in Qatar, inshallah. I wish I could be back, inshallah, in the future. I also attended different events around the world. Here I was in Tunisia. I attended the Mediterranean University of Youth and Global Citizenship about youth and justice. This is one of the most and beautiful experiences that I have ever had in Indonesia. In 2019, I attended this. It was a kind of a summer school in Malang, and they selected me among 840 participants, and I was really lucky and privileged because I accepted. I decided to go to do this long journey because I was in Morocco. So I'll be back in France. From France, I had a stopover in Doha, after Doha, Jakarta, and so on. And I met a lot of people from more than 50 different countries. I'm also part of an international networks called IDOF, which is Interfaith Dialogue on Violent Extremism. We did an international forum in Addis Ababa in 2019. And also I attended as an Italian delegate, the third International Youth Summit in Lahore in Pakistan. And the last event that I attended before COVID-19, it was in my beloved Morocco, in my beloved Rabat. I was invited as a speaker to talk about the human library, subhanAllah. And they asked me to be part of this fishbowl discussion regarding the role of global citizenship education in building sustainable, inclusive, and peaceful society. I shared my story. I shared the importance to work on the global citizenship education, starting from schools, starting from our family, because we have to raise awareness in our family. Sometimes we have some siblings that are racist and that they discriminate some other people. So we have to work with them. We have to raise awareness in our family. Before changing the world, we have to change our families, our mindset, our people that they are really close with us. And this is my motto in my life: be the change that you want to see in the world. I'm trying to be this change. We are trying to be this change. If we are here, it means that we really want to give an impact in this world, in this community, in our countries. Next move, I'm preparing my TED Talk And I'm really happy that I had this chance to practice my public speaking. It will be more simple because it will be in Italian and not in English. And I will have the same timing, 18 minutes. And I will ask you to pray for me because I really believe that being a speaker in TEDx, it means a lot. You can give a strong and powerful message, and they will share your video, your TED Talk in the general channel on YouTube. So your message, it can be viral, and you can share a strong message where people can be inspiring from your words. So I'm preparing now, inshallah, my speech. And Dankeschön, shukran, merci, grazie, teşekkür ederim. I'm trying to read. Muchas gracias. And let's keep in touch. I just put some social networks that I'm using: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. And thank you so much. Feel free to ask me whatever question you want. I'm a living library. It means that I'm completely comfortable to answer all questions. Shukran. Thank you so much.
MashaAllah, thank you so much for your talk. Wow, I don't even know where to start. Everyone, if you have questions, please feel free to ask in the chat box or use the raise your hand feature. And yeah, I can tell you that I can relate a lot to yeah, if you have a question, just use the raise your hand feature and I'll unmute you, or I'll ask you to unmute. So yeah, I know that I can relate as a Palestinian, because Palestinians, who, especially those who live outside of Palestine, they have a confused identity as well. Are they Palestinian? Are they from the country they're living in, or their nationality, or what exactly? So I can completely understand that. And I'll start with a question while we get a couple of people warmed up. How did the people in Morocco, how did the Moroccans make you feel when you visited Morocco? I know you said you felt like a tourist, but
yeah.
do you feel like they also made you feel like you're an outsider, or were they welcoming and warm and everything?
It depends, because Moroccan people are completely different from each others. So I met some people that they how can I say, they consider me as a Moroccan citizen. But I also met some Moroccan people that they consider me as an Italian citizen. They always says, "You are Italian. You're not Moroccan. You are speaking in Italian more than Moroccan. When you are speaking Moroccan, I can recognize that you are a Moroccan living abroad." So they start to how can I say, discriminate. It's not discriminate, but to put yourself in another way, or to consider you different from them. So that's why I met those kind of people that they help me to be part and to feel part of my society, and others people that they always consider me a kind of stranger, because they think you have an Italian passport, you have an European passport, so you are here just to show us your nationality and so on. I mean, it's not my kind of thinking. I decided to be back not to show my passport or to show that I'm privileged more than you and so on. But subhanallah, some people, they can think in a bad way just because you are deciding to live in my country. Morocco is my country, but it's hard to explain them that even if you are raised in another country, you are still connected with your country. You are still loving your country, because I'm proudly Moroccan. And I always say that I'm Moroccan, but I'm also Italian. But another thing, for example, when I attended all these events, I always represented Italy, not because I'm ashamed or I don't want to represent Morocco, just because I have the residence in Italy. How can you represent United States if you are living in Qatar? You can't. You will represent Qatar even if you are Palestinian. Okay. And in a few cases, they asked me to represent Morocco instead of Italy. But some people, not all, they think, oh, you are just want to represent Italy because you are ashamed to represent Morocco or some stuff like that. This is a prejudice. This is a ignorance for me. So I move on from my way, in my way, and I don't care because even if I'm representing Morocco, they will find some things in order to speak bad about me.
Yeah.
So be yourself. In any case, they will speak about you.
Yeah, yeah, I can
So you have
completely
to
relate.
do-
When I went to Palestine for the first and only time in my life, I was so excited because I could finally say, "Oh, I'm from here." But they were all like, "No, no, but where are you really from?" I was like, "Ouch, my own people," you know. So, okay, enough from me. I'm going to ask Asia to unmute herself to ask you a question. Sorry, how do you pronounce your name?
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam, dear.
Okay, so it's Aisha.
Aisha.
Aisha, okay.
Indonesian Indonesian pronunciation.
Okay, okay. Please
Sister
go ahead.
Khadija, I'm glad to see you again.
Me too.
So it's not a. I'd like to start with, mashallah, you're just an inspiration. You have a bunch of achievements, and that really work to inspire us to do the same. And but the thing is, the difference between you and me in particular, you are mixed in nationalities, and I am from Indonesia, and I am originally Indonesian. And the difference is, because currently I am in Poland, and we already know how it works here in Europe. And I know we Muslims here are quite struggling with their identity as well, as you already described. And I kind of understand that. But as someone who is only Indonesian and living in Europe, I feel like, um, these people, although you are minorities, you have many opportunities. Like you can work here, you can do something here. Like you have a bunch of opportunities to contribute to whatever you are interested in. But we in Indonesia, I personally, before I come to Europe, it's so hard for me to find such opportunities like yours. So when I come to Europe, it's completely different, and I am confidently, I am confident to say that I have a lot to do here in Europe compared to in Indonesia. So, what is your suggestion or um, advice to us young people who are, let's say, have lack of opportunities provided by our authorities or communities? Well, we can, maybe you can say we can create opportunities, but like how? Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, shukran, Aisha. Shukran for being here. I know Aisha, I met her in Strasbourg, I think. No,
No. In Femiso Summer School,
no, no.
last
Yeah,
year.
I just met her online. Sorry, I had a lot of travels. That's why I forget. Okay, you asked me good questions. I try to reply. I'm completely aware that I'm privileged because having an Italian passport and a European passport, it means a lot. It means a lot because I can have right access to a lot of opportunities as a European citizen. But in your case, yani in the case of young people that are living in Europe but they are not a European citizen, you have to find opportunities because they exist, but you have to find it. There are few opportunities comparing the huge opportunity that you can access, but you don't have the European passport. So don't lose hope in Allah, because if you believe in your words, I'm sure that you will find your opportunity. You will find a lot of opportunity, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will open a lot of doors for you. You have to be patient. You have to be aware that unfortunately we have this kind of, I can say that it's a bureaucracy, in Europe, that some people, they have more opportunities more than others because they don't have, for example, citizenship or the how can I say, the permission of residence and so on. So you have to find some association, because I have a lot of friends that they started the journey with me, and they started with their how can I say, with their papers and with their documents, and believe me, they were accepted in a lot of opportunities without having European passports. They asking visa for some opportunities, for to attend some events outside Europe, but they did it because they believe in their potential. Yani you don't have to think that, okay, I don't have a European citizen, so I can't do like that, I can't do this opportunity. You can do it because you don't have the right document, but you have all the things that other people that they have the same document, they have the European document, but they don't have your passion, they don't have your motivation, they don't have your skills. So you have to believe in yourself. And I'm sure, wallahi, I'm sure that Allah will help you, will help all of us in order to achieve our goals, our all this passport. I mean, yeah. Unfortunately, yes. And I'm sure you will find the right opportunities. You just have to be patient, especially in this time during the pandemic. It's really hard for everyone to find a good job, to find the good opportunities, because we are stuck here. We can't go outside. It's really hard to move from a country to another country because there are a lot of restrictions. So trust in Allah, put your confidence, put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I'm sure you will find an amazing opportunities. Allah will help you to find your ways, and that's it.
Thank you. Just one thing. Thank you for. I'm sorry, Bayan.
No, please, go ahead.
Thank you for saying such a positive statements because it's Ramadan. I hope Allah granted.
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially in this period, you have to do, and I will pray also for you, for all of us. Inshallah, I wish you all the best. You know, I know you, and I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you will succeed. Inshallah.
That's very beautiful. You're getting a lot of love, Khadija, in the chat box. Ayan Said responded to your comment saying, all these passports are part of man-made borders. Don't let that ever limit your potential. And I must say, I agree. Okay, so we're going to take Takang and then Yasmin, and then finally we're going to take Ayan, and I think that will be all the time that we have for today. But please, Takang, go ahead, unmute yourself.
Hello, Khadeja.
Hi, dear.
I'm sure this is the second time we're meeting. The last time we had a session with Dr. Efren talk on this post-COVID-19. You know, nice meeting you and probably sharing your stories. A very robust and very hectic one, picking a lot from there. I just want to ask you, how was your relationship like with other fellow Africans, be it not from North Africa, but let's say from the east side of Africa, from West Africa, and from southern part of Africa? How's your relationship with them? And did you encourage them to get involved in this business of yours, forming business in quote of yours, and enlightening them about their talents and skills that God's wise saying in Italy?
Sorry, I can't hear you very well, your question. Could you?
Okay. I was asking that what kind of relationship did you have with other fellow Africans who are known, not coming from North Africa, who are known Moroccan, Algerians, let's say from East Africa, from South Africa, from West of Africa, and did you encourage them in this stuff in which you are doing and trying to bring them on board, or what?
Absolutely, yes. I have a good relationship with all Africans because, you know, sometimes when I consider myself African, they told me, they replied me, but you don't have a black skin. Yani, you can't be African. But I'm African. What does it mean? Yani? To be African, it means a lot of things. And when I was in Morocco, I met a lot of Africans, not just from North Africa, but from different parts of Africa, for example, sub-Saharan Africa and so on. And I always encourage them to study, to put a lot of effort in their education, because education is power. You have to empower yourself. You have to believe in your potential. You have to finish your study and looking for another opportunities. You don't have to stop yourself. Okay, I finished my master degree. That's it. I won't find a job because I'm a stranger here in this country and so on. No, it's not like that. You have to build your opportunity. If you didn't find it, you have to build and create a new opportunity. Here also in Italy, I have a lot of African friends, especially refugees friends from Africa. And I also had a great opportunity to work with them for a welcoming project here in Turin. And I helped them to feel part of our community because mm, they they moved here for asking the asylum request, and they start a long path here in Italy. They would like to have an asylum status here in Italy. So I work with them in order to help and to support them in the integration process, So Alhamdulillah, I think that we are all equal. We have to be all equal. There is no difference between me and someone else. We are all human beings. We have to how can I say, treat other people in the same way that you are treat your Moroccan people or Italian people. We have to have the same rights and the same value. So that's it.
Thank you so much. And now we'll take Yasmin's question.
Assalamu alaikum, Khadeja, and thank you, everyone. May I just say, add my thanks, Khadeja, from UK for this inspirational story that you gave us. It's wonderful, mashallah. And the story is not just wonderful, mashallah, you and the way you are and the way you engage with people, that in itself is inspirational. Mashallah, mashallah. Allah bless you and give you more success in everything you do. The point I wanted to comment on was regarding identities. And as somebody also from a very mixed identity basis and brought up in UK, I think I went through similar struggles. But actually what I came up with is, in the end, it's incredibly exciting and incredibly good fun to have multiple cultures and nations and ethnicities to draw on in terms of cuisine and dress and music and language and lifestyle. So rather than multiple identities being a problem or something negative or something that's an either or, I think people in the 21st century can enjoy having multiple identities, and that's wonderful. It's not a problem. It's a wonderful richness. It's a wonderful pleasure. It adds so much enrichment to our lives. And for me, the unifying factor is not whether I'm British or Malay or any other. It's actually I'm Muslim or I'm a member of the human race. And as a member, as a Muslim or a member of the human race or of human creation, I'm entwined with everyone. I'm connected with everyone, and I have respect and love and appreciation for everyone, and solidarity and collaboration with everyone. So actually, I think many people in Britain, they went through similar identity struggles. But some of them, not everyone, but some of them came through to a wonderful conclusion or a wonderful realization, which makes life far more fun than if you just have a single national or ethnic or cultural or faith identity. So just wanted to share the positivities of identity. Shukran, inshallah.
Thank you so much, Allah. You did an amazing intervention. I completely agree 100%. And subhanallah, when I was victim of bullying, I was thinking that I'm wrong, that being Moroccan, it's not good. So I started to think, okay, but I have to hide my identity. But after that, I realized that it's the worst things that people can do for themselves, and hiding their culture, hiding their religion. I started to be aware that I'm like that, and I'm Moroccan, I'm Muslim, I'm Italian. It's okay for me. If other people they don't like me, it's okay. Yani they don't give me breath, or they don't give me the oxygen to be alive. So it's good. But thinking like that, it was long for me. I spent, I think, 3 years thinking, building myself, building my mindset, shifting my mindset. And after that, I realized that, okay, I'm like that. No one can change me. They can accept me if they want. It's okay. It's okay because I accepted me, and it's enough for me to be proud of me, to be proud of my region, my religion, and so on. That's why now I'm completely proud of my identity, my religion, my culture, and I can also say it loudly that I'm Muslim, I'm Moroccan, I'm Italian, and it's fine. It's fine. We have to be proud of ourselves. We are not wrong because we
And
born in the country,
I think you're 100% right. And I think when we do that, we act as incredible role models, not just for Muslims, but for non-Muslims. It's actually the power of role modeling is phenomenal. People respect us, value us, honor us, include us. So you're right. We need to be ourselves and have confidence and faith and do it, do the right thing. And the barakah and the blessing and the rewards will come. So jazakallah khairan. Shukran, Khadeja.
Barakallah fik. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Yasmin, for your beautiful words. I personally, as someone who identifies with 3 different places or countries, I feel the same way. Okay, so I'm not sure if Ayan wanted to say something. She lowered her hand.
Oh wow, Khadeja, by the way, love you so much. Love you, love you. I'm at work, so my camera's off, sorry, and I'm gonna have to get back to it in 10 minutes. But you guys beautifully went into my question, which was about identity, and I completely get that whole journey of self-awareness and learning to stand your ground and that whole thing. But it can also be a burden to, in addition to all the privileges we have to be able to share our experiences ourselves, our value, the lived experiences we have that we can add to development and solutions. But how do you, just to be very specific about it, how it can be burdensome as well, especially internally, like within our own communities, because there's that thing as human beings where we tend to collate where we are familiar with, and the unknown is this big issue, essentially, for us to access that unknown if we go into the unknown. So have you ever received pushback within your own community or where you've identified with? And how have you been able to connect the 2 spaces so that they can kind of, that intercultural interconnectedness, have you attempted to build that bridge?
Yeah, of course. As I said, the Italian NGO, they gave me the pushback. They asked me, Khadeja, be yourself. You have a lot of things to say. You have a lot of potential. You have to work with us. We will support you, but you have to be the first supporter of yourself, of your narrative. Because how can you fight Islamophobia if you as a Muslim, you are not speaking about Islam in a good way? If you are not giving a good example as a Muslim, how can you face Islamophobia? If people they are talking bad about our religion, you have to be an example for Islam, for the human being community. So I started to believe in myself, but also I started to surround it with people that they believe in me, that they gave me a positive vibes, that they supported me. And it's really crucial to be surrounded with a good people. If you want to achieve your goals, if you want to change the world, your community, you have to be part of a community. You have to be part of a group, of a network that they have the same goals, a common goals, not the same exactly, but they have the common goals. I started to believe in the intercultural dialogue, interfaith dialogue, because I feel myself part of a community. That's why it's really important, the sense of belonging. How can you do volunteer in your community if you don't believe in the change? If you don't believe that thanks to your act, your actions, you can change the situation. If all we are working in order to change our community in a good way, giving a good example, I'm sure that we will have this change. It takes a lot of time. It's a long process. We can't say that, okay, inshallah, in 2 months, we will change our community. There is no Islamophobia next year. It's pretty impossible. But if we are raising awareness, if we are sharing our stories, our personal stories, because I can talk about another issues, I can talk about other person, but it's not the same. If you are the person, if you know your story, no one know your story more than you. I can talk about Islamophobia because I face and I'm still facing Islamophobia. But if you ask someone else, which is not Muslim or not Arab or not a lot of things, not Arab, yani, not Muslim in this way, because not all Arabs are Muslim. And so how he can or she can talk about Islamophobia, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Yani the real, how can I say, yani the impact of your narratives, it's completely different. That's why we have to we have to take back our stories, our narrative. For example, here in Italy, we have a huge problem regarding the second generation. Yani, here, having the access to Italian citizenship here in Italy, it's really hard. You have to live in Italy for 10 years. You have to have a work for 3 years yani, without stopping your work. Yani, it's really, really hard to obtain the Italian citizenship. And the youth that are raising here or that they move here, they find a lot of issues in order to be Italian also in the papers, you know. And we started to talk between us. We have to change the things. We have to talk about our stories. We have to show to the Italian nation, the Italian people, that we are here. We exist. We pay the tax. We pay all the things. We are a good citizen. We respect Italy maybe more than you as an Italian citizen. And we love our country. It's not your country, it's our country. Because I'm living here. I decided to base my life in my country, which is yours, but also mine. So we have to pay attention. We have to work all together if we really would like to have an impact in our community. But if you don't want to do this change, you can do whatever you want. But how can you start to blame your country, your institution, your government? Oh, they don't believe in us. I don't trust in politics and so on. But you are not doing nothing in order to change your politics, your government, and so on. So the action is the most important things, because we are all we know how to blame people, blame communities, and so on. But when we asking to act, subhanallah, people, they start to disappear because they don't want to work hard in order to see the change. This is the most important things, yani, to be coherent with your words, because I can start to talk about a lot of things, but if I don't do nothing, how can you, yani, compare my words with my actions? You know, you have to do a balance between your words and your actions. You know, and actions speak more loudly more than words.
Thank you so much. Absolutely. Okay, we're running out of time, but I think Neda, did you still want to ask your question?
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum, Khadeja. So first of all, I would like to say that you are amazing and I really loved your session, mashallah. So yeah, my name is Nada and I am from India. like I was born in Qatar, but I've been living in India for all my life. So like I did my schooling there and my families are all there. But we have a situation that we are still a minority in our own country. Like Muslims are discriminated in every means. You might have read in news and everywhere. It's all everywhere. So I just want to ask you, like being a Moroccan in Italy and being a Muslim in Italy, like have you ever faced like situations where there are you like you miss opportunities because of your hijab or because of your religion? And like I saw that you participated in many events and so on. So I just want to know that.
Wow, this is a good question. In my case, Alhamdulillah, I have never faced this kind of problem. But because I've never asked to work in a place where they rejected me. Yani, you can rejected me, but firstly, I don't want to work with you because you don't believe in me. You blame my religion. You are against my right to wear my hijab. So you are not, yani, I'm rejected you before you rejected me. That's why I always, when I looking for a work, I always, yani, select in a good way, yani, in a professional way, the position that I would like to, how can I say, uh, send my CV or apply for this kind of position. Alhamdulillah, I always work in a good environment, in an environment where everyone is respected for his nationality, for his religion, for his culture, and so on. Because I don't want to work with people that they are against my religion, that they are Islamophobic, you know. So I always try to find the place where I can be comfortable, where I can be myself without hiding my religion, my practice, or so on. When I work with this Italian NGO, from the first time I'm saying uh, I'm praying 5 times per day. So if I have to work in the office, may I pray in a place in the office? I don't want to disturb you or bother you, but I have to pray. And they replied me, there is no problem, Khadija. We have this place. You can use it for your prayer, and that's it. You just have to put the condition, the right condition before starting, because you can't starting and after that, oh, I would like to pray. But at the end, at the beginning, you didn't ask them that you would like to pray. So you have to ask them before starting, because maybe they won't accept it because they think that in the workplace we are, how can I say, they say we have the lie, so we don't want to show our religion in a workplace. So you have to work in your home, in a private places, you know. We have this kind of mentality, unfortunately, here also in Italy, but not like France. You know that French, they have a bad vision of practicing religions. They don't want to see you practicing your faith. But alhamdulillah, in Italy, maybe because we have Vaticans, that's why religions are respected in this way, and no one can ask you to skip your hijab or to don't pray in this place and so on. But sometimes you can, I met some people with this mentality, with this mindset, but I don't want to work with them. I respect their opinion, but it's my life, it's my choices, and I don't want to share a place with people that they don't believe in me, that they judge me just because of my hijab. They don't know me. They just think that okay, she's a hijabi girl, so she's oppressed and so on. But if they know me, they will discover that I'm the first feminist in Italy. I always fight for the gender equality. always, always. It's not mean that I'm against men's, because being feminist, it's not being against men's and so on. It means being equal. We have to have the same rights as a woman and as a man. That's it. Thank you.
That's good to hear. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My bunny's freaked out all of a sudden in the back. Anyway, thank you so much, Khadeja. That was a really insightful conversation and very relatable for me, at least. Dr. Evans says it was wonderful. We're so happy that we had you give your talk today, and we look forward to hearing much more from you. And even though we don't understand Italian, maybe even send us your TED talk once you do it. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Thank you everyone for attending, and tomorrow we have 2 talks. Okay, so make sure you attend, and we'll see you then. Take care.
Barakallah feekum. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, Dr. Talk. Evren, shukran Bayan, shukran Alina, and thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my stories. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a nice day, and see you tomorrow, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon. Bye.